One of my favorite conversations to have after a treatment with a client is, I didn't see anything happen. Like, you guys were just here, you just treated, nothing changed. So I think that it's really interesting how we have to interject the idea of patience is a virtue when it comes to lawn care. Do you have any stories of clients ever interacting with you, like something didn't work the way they expected, or it took more time than they anticipated?
I think it almost always takes more time than they anticipate. We try really hard to set those expectations because I believe when the customer is aware of what to expect, it's a lot easier to take the bad news. Sometimes the bad news is it's going to take a minute. I have had a homeowner before do what we call our fescue restart,
Mm.
and we cleaned up the yard. We aerated and reseeded the yard in the fall, and I think he was a little apprehensive at first. He was a little nervous. We had taken everything out, starting him from fresh dirt. And he, about 6 months later, once that yard was thriving, he sent us some pictures of his family and himself out enjoying the lawn. And he was like, I'm so glad I waited. I was really hesitant in the beginning, thought maybe I'd made a wrong choice, but I'm so glad I waited. Thank you for keeping me on, because he would call every once in a while. I'm seeing this. What's happening now? So it just is, it's a waiting game. It's kind of like getting braces.
Mm.
When you go in because you need some help with your teeth. You need help fixing a problem. And when you get braces and go home that night and your mouth hurts like crazy, when you wake up in the morning and your teeth aren't straight, I don't think you normally call the orthodontist and say, hey, this didn't work. You need to take this off or stop doing this. It's that kind of process. It's time. It's building. We talk a lot about our programs layering application after application on that. And I know time of year. So, what's this season right now? What are we looking at in this season? What do you find that's our main focus?
Well, I feel like the springtime is when people really get serious about their yard, meaning it's the first time they're going outside. They're enjoying the weather. Pollen may be rough on them, but they're looking at their yard and they're saying, hey, it's time to get it in shape. I had a friend of mine who he had a Bermuda yard, and he had just got it. He had the yard sodded the year prior. So he had it sodded in the fall. So it was put down green, turns dormant brown in the winter, and then now we're in the spring. And this is when he chose to engage with services. A good friend waited to engage service with us. And what I noticed right away is he had no pre-emergence on the yard. He shouldn't have. He had new sod, so it would have had a bad effect on the new sod. But he had weeds galore. And so we start treating it with post-emergence and start treating the weeds as we can see them. But there was nothing we could do to keep them from coming back. And so we got into the summertime. And so now we're starting to fertilize and starting to grow the grass. Everything's growing, but what also is growing? The weeds. And so walking him through that process, it was fun because it was a friend, but he was also a client, that, hey, this is going to take some time. Next year, when we start getting to the fall time, we can start putting down some preventions, and then we're going to get ahead of it. And this is that case going into this year. We're having a much better success. And another one of my interesting stories was, I had a client, we got this yard jam up. I mean, it was clean, it was lush, it was great. It was a fescue yard. And they made the comment like this, hey, you've gotten the yard to a good spot. I want to take over. You get those calls too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, hey, good luck. Like, we've worked this hard and now you're going to try to take it over yourself. So we parted ways as a professional relationship at that moment. And this was in the springtime with a fescue yard. So of course it's growing like crazy. The temperatures are perfect. It's 70s to 80s. And there's not much you had to do at that point. We already got the pre-emergence down. We blocked all the weeds. And then summertime came. And then they came face to face with the reality is they have a cool season grass with a hot environment, and that thing got baked by the sun and it got lawn disease out the wazoo. So then I'm getting the call back in August.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any more fescue. It's almost all gone. One, did I do something wrong? We talked through that. And then two, is there anything I can do differently? And the differently was, yes, there's plenty of things you can do in the summertime for your cool season grass around here, our tall fescue, to help mitigate those disease risk, help get it to a point where you're not limping into the fall, and aeration and seeding is actually replacing the grass that you lost, but we're actually getting into a position where you're replenishing the grass that you already have. And because we know, well, as anybody, a thicker yard is a healthy yard is a weed-free yard. So that was some fun experiences experiences I had. I'm sure you got plenty of those as well.
That is, and we correlate back to going to the gym and our health overall a lot. But that's a perfect example. You go to the gym, you have a trainer, they get you all in shape, and you peace out. I'm going to do this on my own. We all have great intentions of that, but the timing and knowing what to do is really difficult. If I don't have that camaraderie around me to keep me going to the gym, if I don't have the grass nerds to keep me on track, my yard's going to fall apart. And it breaks my heart when customers call in and say how great we've done, but we're breaking up. And that's just, without trying to sound salesy, I'd always just want to be like, let me just kind of tell you what to expect and what's going to happen. And hey, if we can help you through this, great, but just let us take that off your plate for you.
Yeah.
So those situations for sure are heartbreaking. And when they come back to us then and we kind of have to pick up and redo it all again, they typically learn their lesson, but then it's just it's sad. So I understand that one.
Yeah, there's a lot of work that goes into getting a yard in a good spot. And I think a misconception is that it's easy to keep it there, forgetting that you have to do a lot of work to keep it at that level.
We make it look easy.
We make it look easy.
We do.